Good morning, everyone. Let's be honest, life would be a lot easier if we never had to deal with toxic people. But the reality is they're everywhere. They could be a manipulative coworker, a controlling friend, or even a family member who drains your energy. We all encounter them at some point. But here's the key difference. Smart people don't let toxic people control their emotions, their time, or their peace of mind. So how do they handle them? Let's talk about it. 1, they set boundaries without guilt. 2, they don't engage in drama. 3, they don't try to fix toxic people. 4, they prioritize their mental health. 5, they walk away when necessary. They set boundaries without guilt. Smart people understand that boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about protecting their peace, their time, and their mental health. They know that toxic individuals thrive on overstepping limits, whether it's by demanding too much attention, manipulating emotions, or constantly pushing their way into situations where they don't belong. Establishing boundaries isn't always easy, especially when the toxic person is someone close, a friend, a colleague, or even a family member. But intelligent individuals know that without boundaries, they become vulnerable to stress, manipulation, and emotional exhaustion. They don't hesitate to say no when necessary, and more importantly, they don't feel guilty for doing so. They understand that they are not responsible for managing another person's reactions. If someone gets upset because a boundary was set, that's their issue to deal with, not an obligation to be fixed by the person enforcing the boundary. A key aspect of setting boundaries effectively is consistency. Toxic people often test limits, trying to see if they can break through with guilt trips, emotional outbursts, or passive-aggressive behavior. Smart people don't waver. Once a boundary is set, they stand by it firmly, making it clear that their well-being is not up for debate. They also communicate their boundaries with confidence and clarity. Instead of explaining themselves excessively or justifying their choices, they keep things simple. I'm not available to talk about this right now. I won't tolerate being spoken to that way. I need some space, and I hope you can respect that. They avoid long explanations that give toxic people room to manipulate the situation. The more straightforward the boundary, the harder it is for the toxic person to twist it to their advantage. They don't engage in drama. Smart people know that drama is an energy-draining trap designed to distract, destabilize, and exhaust. Toxic individuals thrive in chaotic, emotionally charged environments, often seeking out conflict or stirring up trouble to manipulate or control situations. But the wise and emotionally intelligent individuals know that engaging in drama only plays into the hands of those who want to create turmoil. Instead of fueling unnecessary arguments, smart people recognize when it's better to step back and disengage. They don't take the bait when someone tries to provoke them with accusations, gossip, or insults. They know that reacting emotionally to these tactics only amplifies the drama and adds more fuel to the fire. When faced with negativity or conflict, they remain calm, composed, and non-reactive. They understand the importance of emotional detachment in preserving their mental well-being. A toxic person might try to get under their skin by twisting their words or bringing up past mistakes, but the smart person doesn't take it personally. They know that when someone tries to provoke them, it's often a reflection of the other person's internal issues, not a reflection of who they are. By not engaging, they avoid feeding into the negativity that the toxic person is attempting to stir up. They don't try to fix toxic people. One of the most important lessons smart people learn is that they cannot change someone who isn't willing to change. Toxic individuals often exhibit behaviors rooted in deep-seated issues, such as insecurity, manipulation, or emotional instability. While these traits may stir feelings of compassion or a desire to help in others, smart people understand that trying to fix or save a toxic person is not only futile, but also dangerous to their own well-being. First and foremost, they recognize that change has to come from within. It's not something that can be imposed from the outside, no matter how hard they try. A toxic person may exhibit harmful behaviors, whether it's constant criticism, emotional manipulation, or creating drama, but if they are not ready to address the root causes of these behaviors, no amount of effort will lead to meaningful change. Smart people know that trying to change someone who isn't willing to change themselves is like trying to fill a broken bucket with water. The effort is wasted, and it only leads to frustration and burnout. Smart individuals understand that true growth and healing are personal journeys. They acknowledge that people can only change when they are open to self-awareness and are committed to making those changes. However, no matter how much love or support a smart person may offer, they can't force someone to work on their own issues. They also know that constantly trying to fix a toxic person creates an unhealthy dynamicon where the toxic individual becomes dependent on the other person for validation, attention, or emotional support, while the person trying to help is left drained and unappreciated. They prioritize their mental health. Smart people know that their mental and emotional well-being is their most valuable asset. Without it, nothing else can thrive, be it their personal happiness, their relationships, or their ability to perform at work or pursue their passions. They recognize that mental health is not something to be taken for granted or sacrificed for the sake of others. They understand that they can't pour from an empty cup, so taking care of their own mental health becomes a non-negotiable priority. One of the first ways they do this is by maintaining boundaries. As we've discussed, toxic people often thrive on draining the energy of others. They may demand constant attention, create emotional chaos, or push buttons that destabilize those around them. Smart people refuse to let this happen. They make sure to carve out time for themselves and engage in practices that restore their peace of mind. Whether that means saying no to a request, walking away from an argument, or simply stepping away from a toxic situation, they recognize that their peace is worth protecting. In addition to boundaries, smart people also know when to seek help. They understand that mental health is not just about avoiding stress, but also about seeking support when needed. This could mean talking to a therapist, confiding in trusted friends or family members, or practicing mindfulness techniques like meditation and deep breathing. They don't view seeking help as a weakness. Instead, they see it as a vital part of maintaining balance and emotional strength. They know that ignoring mental health issues or pretending they don't exist only leads to deeper problems down the line. They walk away when necessary. Smart people understand that sometimes the most powerful action is to walk away. They know that no matter how much effort, time, or energy they've invested in a relationship, situation, or environment, there comes a point where leaving is the healthiest choice for their emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Walking away is not a sign of failure. Rather, it is an act of self-respect and emotional intelligence. When faced with toxic relationships or situations, smart individuals recognize that they cannot control or change other people's behaviors, but they can control how much they allow those behaviors to impact them. They understand that staying in a toxic environment only perpetuates pain, stress, and frustration. And they are not afraid to remove themselves from situations that no longer serve them. This might mean leaving a friendship, a job, a family dynamic, or any other relationship where the negative energy outweighs the positive.